Now to start off our bikini top, we're going to grab our category 4 cotton yarn, make a slip knot, grab our 5mm hook, and we're going to make a chain that's long enough to fit around our bust. And this is going to be a bandeau styled bikini top, so it's going to be extremely simple. Now that we've made our chain, we're going to chain up 3, prepare for a double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet once into every loop until we get to the very end. Now I've done a double crochet once in every loop that we had. Now that we're at the last one, we're going to, if you're switching colors, then you can pay attention. If not, then you can skip this portion. But we're going to insert our hook and then yarn over, pull through until we just have 2 loops, just like how we would doing a regular double crochet. But before we yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops, we're going to grab our second color. And then from here, we're just going to place it on the hook that we have. And then we're going to pull it through both of the colors from the last row that we had. And then from here, we are going to cut the very first color from the working yarn. And then from here, we're going to double tie to keep it secure. And there's that. And then from here, we're going to chain up 3, flip your work, and then we're going to double crochet once all the way down. And we're going to do this as many times as you need to. I have a small chest, so I can get away with just 6 colors, not including the border. So you can figure that out, whatever style you want to make it. And then I'll meet you once when I have all of my colors put together. Now I'm done with the bulk of my bikini top. All we have to do now is do the top and bottom borders, which we're going to do right now, and then the side panels are going to come right after. So we're going to grab our border color, make a slip knot, and then I'm going to insert my hook into a corner, and then we're going to be working along the length, and all I'm going to do is going to be putting 1 double crochet into every loop here, and then 1 on the bottom as well. And I'll meet you once when I have both of those done. Now that I've done my border colors on the top length and bottom length, now I'm going to do a side panel, and I haven't cut and tied just because we can continue with the working yarn. So what we're going to do from here is chain up 3. We're going to put 2 double crochets into every loop that we have. So all of these side loops that we're going to be working in, 2 double crochet fit in nicely, and then when we get to the end, I'll show you what to do from there. Now that we're working on our side panels, we've done the very first row of it, which is just 2 double crochet into every single loop that we have. So now we're going to do 2 more rows of double crochet. So chain up 3, flip your work, and then put 1 double crochet into every loop. Once you get to the end, chain up 3, and then put 1 double crochet into every loop there as well. So we have 3 rows of double crochet. We need to do 1 more row of net, and then we'll be all done with this side. And this net is so that you can weave in the back strap. So what we're going to do is chain up 4, flip your work, prepare for a double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet in every other loop. So we're not going to double crochet in the next loop, but in the one after that. And this is what you'll get. We're going to chain 1, prepare for a double crochet, not in the next loop, but the loop after that. And then from here, we're going to keep doing this until we get to the end of the row. Then we're going to do 1 row of single crochet just to secure it, and then we'll be all done with this side. Now we're done with our row of net. What we're going to do now is chain 1, flip your work, and then just do single crochets like I said a second ago. So put 1 single crochet into every loop that we have. So let's put 1 into the big loop, 1 into the loop that's on top of the double crochet. So 1 into every loop that we have. Once when we get to the end, cut and tie. We're going to do the same thing that we did on this side on the other side, and I'll meet you once when our other side is done as well. So this is what our top looks like with the side panels attached. And you can either leave your top like this. All you would need to do if you do want to leave it like this is just make a chain that's long enough so that it can tie the backs, so that it can intertwine, so it can tie. But what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to make some straps to go along with it, and I'm going to need 2 front straps and 2 back straps because this is going to be a tank top and not a halter. And I have already measured out where I want my front straps to be, and I have a rough estimate of where I want my back straps to be. So from here, we're just going to insert our hook to make the tank top, and then all I'm going to do is just make a chain of 75 in each of our spots. So I'm going to have 4 chains of 75, and then when we have that, I'll show you how to tie that up so that it sits on your shoulders like a tank top. So I finished the 4 straps that I wanted to make, and then from here, when you try it on, there's 2 ways that you can tie it. You can just do a regular, the regular way that you tie your shoes. You can just do one of these, or what I like to do is when it's on, you're going to grab the straps in one hand. You're going to make it into a backward 7. You're going to twist so that there's a loop, and then you're going to pull the extra string through, and then you're going to put it all the way through like this so that you have this knot right here, and then that sits on your shoulder just like a tank top, and then you have these flowing over your shoulders, and it's super cute. So to start off the bottoms, we're going to grab our category 4 cotton yarn, make a slip knot, grab our 5mm hook, and we're going to make a chain that's long enough to fit where the front of your bikini is going to be. Front or back, it's going to be the same. And just for reference, mine is a chain of 30. Now that we have our chain, we're going to hold the very last chain, chain up 3. That counts as a double crochet. And we're going to prepare for a double crochet and double crochet into every loop that we have until we get to the middle point, and then I'll show you how to do that as well. Now we've double crocheted up until we got to the middle loop. This is the middle loop right here. When we get here, we're going to do 3 double crochets into the same loop. And why we do that is because we're going to have the bottoms come to a point just like how we have here. When we have the 3 double crochets in the same loop, then we're going to double crochet into all the other loops until we get to the end. Now I've made it to the very last loop. This next step is only if you're going to be alternating colors. If not, then you can just skip this portion. But now that we're at the very last loop, we're going to prepare for a double crochet, insert our hook, and we're going to pull it through twice. But before we do the very last yarn over, pull through the last 2, we're going to grab our other color, and what we're going to do is we're just going to simply place our color onto our hook, our second color onto our hook, and then pull that one through. And then when it's here, you can chain 1, 2, 3. So chain 3 for the double crochet. But before you go any further, you're just going to cut the very first color that we're working with. So get that off to the side, and then these 2 strands that we have next to each other, all we're going to do is going to tie it just so that it doesn't come loose. And that is how we alternate colors. And I'm going to be doing what I just did for every single color that I have down the row. But for the rest, we're just going to flip our work since we already did the chain 3. What we're going to do now is put 1 double crochet into every loop that we have until we get to the middle point right here. And I'll meet you back when we're right here. Now we're on our second row, second color, and we've made it all the way to the middle. This is the 3 double crochet in the same loop that we made in the previous row. And then we're going to meet the middle one, so the second one right here. When we get right here, we're going to do 3 double crochet into that loop, just so that we keep this pattern going. So 1, 2, 3. And then do 1 double crochet into every loop until we get to the end. And then we're just going to be doing this pattern until you have the length that you want. I did mine for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is what I like. You can make it less, you can make it more, whichever you like. And then I'll meet you when we have the bulk of this portion done. So I'm just doing the main portion of our bottoms. What we're going to do next is the border along the edges, and we're going to grab our other color and we're going to insert our hook into one of the corners, doesn't matter which one. And from here, when we're going along the length, we're going to be doing just single crochets. So we're going to take this, make a single crochet to secure it, and we're just going to be going once into every loop until we get down here in the middle, and then I'll show you what to do there. Now I've done one single crochet all the way down until we got to the this is the middle, and then this is the one right before the middle. So what we're going to do in the next 3 loops is we're going to decrease in the next 3 to pull it together so that we don't have any extra yarn in the middle. So what we're going to do is insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, and then we're going to insert our hook into the next loop, insert our hook, pull through, and then in the third one as well, insert our hook, pull through, and then from here we're going to yarn over. I'm going to pull through all 4 loops that we had, just like that. And then from here, single crochet once into every loop that we have. Now I've done one single crochet into every single loop with a decrease in the middle. Now that we made it to the other edge, we're going to be working on the side panels. So what we're going to do from here is chain up 3. And then from here, we're going to be double crocheting twice into every single side loop that we have right here. So here's, let's try that one more time. Here's 1 and 2. And then we're going to be doing 2 in every single one, just like I said. I'll meet you when we're done. Now that we finished our row of double crochets, we're going to be working on the loops so that we can weave in our side ties just like that. And how we're going to do that is that we're going to chain up 4. We're going to flip our work, and we're going to prepare for a double crochet, and we're going to double crochet into every other loop. So we're not going to go into this next one, but we're going to go into the one right after that. Just like that. We're going to chain 1, prepare for a double crochet, skip the next one, and go into the one right after that. And we're going to do that until we get to the other end. Now that we have our loops done, we're just going to do one more thing to make it a little bit more secure. I just chained 1. We're going to flip our work. We're going to single crochet once into the big loop, and then we're going to do 1 single crochet into the loop that is right above the double crochet as well. Just like that. So basically once in every loop. So once into the big loop, once into the double crochet, and then we're going to do that once when and once when we reach the end, which is coming up, we're going to cut and tie, and then I'll show you how to do the other portion. So now that we just finished this side, we're going to need to do the exact same thing that we did here, but on the opposite side. And I'm just going to show you how to start it, because it's going to be pretty much the same. Now, we would usually just go into this loop and then start, but if that's the case, then we're going to have little random colors at the bottom, like in the corners, and it's not going to look as streamlined as this. So what we're going to do is that we're actually just going to insert our hook into one of these double crochet that we did on the side, and there's no real loop for it, so you're just going to insert your hook into the corner of it. And then we're going to take our, in my case, my white yarn, make a slip knot, and then I'm just going to pull it through just to secure it. And then I'm going to go straight into the bottom corner that I would normally go through, the one that I just showed you. And then make a slip stitch just like that. And then we're going, or slip stitch, I'm sorry, single crochet. And we're going to single crochet once into every loop. Once when we get to the middle one, we're going to do 3 in the middle. So that's an increase. And then the side panels are going to be exactly the same. And I'll meet you once we have all of this done. Just a reminder, I'm working on my side panels. This is just the first row of double crochet, and I'm in the very last loop. I did 1 double crochet, and I would usually do another double crochet into the same loop, but then we'd have the same problem that we would have down here if we didn't connect the border colors together. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to do one double crochet in this loop, and then we're going to prepare for another double crochet and then go into the border color over here so that it's all streamlined and we don't have little chunks of color sticking out. And that's what it'll look like, and then I'll continue the rest, then I'll meet you once when it's finished. Now this is what we have so far. We have the side panels and the main portion of our bottoms. Now we're going to be working on this middle flap portion to connect to this side. So what we're going to do is that we're going to indicate where the middle is. So remember how we did this last bottom border in single crochets, and then once when we got to the middle we did an increase of 3. We're going to find that middle piece, and then we're going to count out 10 on both sides. As you can see, I've already counted and marked mine off. So from here we're going to insert our hook into one of the sides. We're going to, let's pull a little extra, grab our yarn, make a slip knot, and then from here we're going to try and make this as even with this high point as possible before we start just working on regular rows. So what we're going to do is we're going to secure it. We're going to chain up 2. I just did 1 chain. There's going to be 2 chains, and we're going to do 5 half double crochets. This first chain 2 counts as 5 half double crochets. So from here we're going to do 5. So here is 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then from here we're going to do 3 single crochet. So here's 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 3 slip stitches across this corner. That's not a slip stitch. So here's 1, 2, 3, and then the same exact pattern that we did down here. So here's 3 single crochet, 2, 3, and then 5 half double crochet, my bad, all the way down. 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. We're going to take our marker out. And then for the next row, we still have one more row of evening out to do because it's not 100% flush. So we're going to... So from here, what we're going to do is chain up 2, flip your work, and on the edges, we're going to be decreasing. And we're going to be decreasing a half double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into one loop, automatically go into the next loop, yarn over, pull through everything that you have. Then from here we're going to be doing 4 half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then let's pull some more yarn for myself. From here we're going to be doing 1 single crochet. So here's 1. We're going to be doing 4 slip stitches from here. So if I can insert my hook, 1, ooh, let's pull this out, there we go, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet and 4 half doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, Lord have mercy. I think this was 3, and then 4, and then the very last 2 loops that we have, we're going to be decreasing in those as well with a half double crochet. Oh, I need help today. And then here we go. We're going to chain 1, flip your work, and then rows 3 through 7, it's just going to be regular single crochet once into every loop with decreases on the edges. So what that looks like is that we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, insert our hook into the next loop, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through all 3. That is a decrease. 1 single crochet into every loop that we have. There we go. And then once we get all the way to the end, there's only 2 loops left. We're going to do a decrease on the edge as well. So remember, rows 3 through 7, regular single crochet with decreases on the edges. And I'll meet you once we have that done. So this is what we have so far. We have rows 1 through 7. 3 through 7 were just regular decreases. And then so from here, the rest is going to be really simple. It's just going to be rows 8 through 16, single crochet once into every loop. And then once we have that, we're going to cut and tie, and then I'll show you how to connect one side to the other. Now I've just finished rows 1 through 16, and then this is all that I'm going to do for these bottoms. Now what we're going to do is that I made one already, so we're going to connect them now. And how we're going to do that is that we're going to chain 1 on the one that we're currently working on, flipping your work. And then if you have a preference which one you want to show on the outside, then make sure that the outsides, the prettier sides, are touching each other. I don't have that preference, so for me it doesn't matter. But from here we're going to be sandwiching the front and the back flaps together. And since we're already connected to this side, we just need to connect it to this side. So we're going to take our hook, insert it into this corner, and then we're going to be pulling through both loops that we are in. And from here we're going to be single crocheting into both loops. So you can see both loops are right here. I'm going to insert my hook into the first one and into the second one, pull through, single crochet just like normal. And we're going to do that until we get all the way to the end. Let's try this again. And then right here, once over here, we're going to chain 1, pull tight, and cut. And then these are our bottoms. So we can flip them, say out just like that. These are our bottoms. These are extremely cheeky bottoms. My front and back are the same. If you want yours to cover more, just cover more, then you can expand this out a little bit more on one side if you want the back to cover more, or thinner, I guess, whichever you want to do. And then the only thing that we need to do on the bottoms here are weave in the edges and then make a chain that's long enough to fit through these side loops, one for each side.